More families are deciding to homeschool their kids, but what happens when those kids go to college? Higher education reporter Aubrey Wright joins us from the newsroom for more.
Thanks, Joe. I spoke with homeschooling experts, parents, and students. They say homeschooled kids do about as well as kids from traditional schools.
During her senior year of high school, Elise Jedlicka took a class at Ivy Tech Community College. Her professor gave her a list of ways college is different. She needed to take charge of her own learning. And she thought, I get it already. She was homeschooled from kindergarten to senior year.
That whole list, that was something that kind of, I don't know, gave me some perspective into like what it would have been like in a public high school.
Now Jedlicka is a sophomore at Indiana University. She says homeschooling helped her focus on learning and motivated her to enjoy the material.
I loved it, and I hopefully homeschool my kids.
Homeschooling looks different for every family. Mom of 6, Annie Ludhard, teaches a class for homeschooled kids at a local church. So far, 3 of her homeschooled children have gone to college.
I think that kind of lends itself to a college atmosphere, because a lot of college classes, obviously you have a professor teaching, but like a lot of it is you have to read the material, you have to do the work on your own at home, and there's a lot of like self-management that has to go on there.
Between traditional textbook learning at home, tutoring, and SAT prep classes, these high schoolers study science, history, and now finance.
This particular class meets every other Friday, but you know, some of our co-ops meet every Friday, some meet every other Friday. It just kind of depends on what the need of that class is.
It's hard to say how many students are homeschooled. According to the Department of Education, about 5% of K-12 students are homeschooled. National surveys are the best resource, but experts say it's not a complete picture. Here's Robert Kunzman, the managing director of the International Center for Home Education Research.
Indiana is a great example of a state that does not collect information about homeschoolers. So we only know in an anecdotal sense, perhaps, that homeschooling has increased.
Indiana doesn't require homeschoolers to register or report data. Instructors must take attendance, and classes should be equivalent to public school. Families and students have a lot of freedom to homeschool in Indiana.
They find that beneficial when they get into college, because in college students make a lot of their own choices about classes they're going to take and how they're going to spend their time. And homeschooling allows children to explore that freedom more before they get to college.
To Kunzman, homeschoolers do about as well in college as public school students. There aren't many dramatic differences. He says there are other, more pivotal factors that impact how well homeschoolers do in college and in life.
In terms of family demographics, income levels, parental education levels, that those tend to be more significant factors, regardless of whether a student is homeschooled or conventionally schooled.
Jedlicka says at first, her biggest struggle was note-taking because she didn't have lectures in high school. Some limited data shows homeschoolers struggle more with math or long research papers, but they may also handle reading and self-directed learning better. As with traditional schools, Kunzman says some homeschooling students' situations are very impressive and students will excel. Others might be unimpressive and neglectful.
I think it's not all that dissimilar from what we'd find in conventional schooling, but we certainly can't say with any confidence that homeschoolers perform better or worse.
Though homeschooling is growing, Sager can't predict if colleges will see more homeschoolers in the future.
I think there are so many different paths that students take these days that there are many options in front of them. But I think homeschoolers are well prepared for college.
College admissions offices are usually very welcoming toward homeschoolers. Students' records might be unconventional. Colleges such as IU Bloomington evaluate their curriculum, transcripts, application essays, and sometimes test scores. Groups like the Indiana Association of Home Educators help parents adopt transcripts and track credit hours.
You are absolutely free to create something different, but you might want to look at what the college your child is interested in requires.
Jedlicka chose to take the SAT for scholarships and to give an official number to the school. She says her homeschooling set her apart because she could talk it up positively.
Applying, it was pretty easy. I feel like I had 3 older brothers that all went through it before too.
Jedlicka says homeschooling won't be for everybody, but it was great for her. Going forward, it's different. But she says there's more opportunities in college.
I know that I'll learn more too. Like, there's stuff that I don't know that I don't know. So I'm excited to figure that out still.
Today, homeschoolers have more options and support to get them through high school and college. For Indiana News Desk, with videographer Lauren Tucker, I'm Aubrey Wright.